And welcome back. There's been a whole bunch of conversation this week about well, not a whole bunch, there's been a couple of posts, and I'm sure those of you who are following in Wicked Edge are wondering, what is this SE or single edge or this Gem Micromatic, Gem G2? It's this guy. This takes a single edge blade and manufactured by Gem. I'm sure the single edge guys in Wicked Edge will be more than happy to tell me that there were at least one other manufacturer. They came out, I think they started somewhere in the 30s, possibly even a little sooner. And they use the classic, what I like to call the cocaine blade, because when you describe, well, what's it take for a blade? When you say cocaine, people go, oh, yeah, that's it. This guy. You also see them for paint scrapers. These things are still manufactured all over the place. However, this is not, you can't just go to the hardware store and get these. The ones at the hardware store, the ones at Walmart, the ones at the dollar store are suitable for scraping paint, not your face. This is by Gem. Shop around at actual shaving websites, or if you're lucky enough to have a proper shaving store in your area, hit them up, see if they can get them. Just your normal run-of-the-mill ones don't work. The blade itself is substantially thicker than a double-edged blade. It will still shatter if you put pressure on it, but to load, simply slide in. There's a little catch back there to hold it in place, and two little keepers down at the bottom, left and right here. They also act as corner guards, so you don't do stuff like you saw me do last week with the side of my face. Then just push the button, lock it down, check to make sure that your blade actually did line up, which of course it should have. I don't think I've ever seen this thing drop down and not have the blade properly lined up. So, without further ado, again, a little bit of water, my usual. And of course I am just out of the shower, and yes, I'm wearing pants, thank you. So, using Mitchell's wool fat today, because I'm still kind of get my face to forgive me from the run of cheap gear that I had been doing for a while with the test drives. And I'm mostly forgiven. That little nick on my face is healed. Now, if you've come from a cartridge razor, you're probably used to doing this. Double-edged guys, probably a little more like this, even straight razor shavers. According to the Gem manual, you actually put the flat of this against your face. So, let's give this a try. It's really, really hard for me, at least, to do just that. The feedback on this is very different as well. Hard for me to do it just because it's natural not to try that steep an angle. Actually, I have found that I do have to pull back ever so slightly. The feedback is different from this, partially because the blade is so thick and partially because of how you're holding this against your face. And the head itself is very much solid. So there's very little of what woodworkers would refer to as chatter. That is, the blade does not vibrate as it encounters what it's cutting. And double-edged blades and certain straight razors are so thin that that is actually what's going on. Now, how significant that is, I'm not sure, but in terms of feedback, in terms of what you actually feel, like you hear people say you can actually feel the hairs popping off. That's partial feedback from the blade. So there is some of that in play. The shave itself feels really mild. Like there's no, I can hear it. But there's absolutely no feeling either to my face or through the handle. So I suspect the single edge guys will probably correct me on this, or at least I hope they'll chime in. Possible to make yourself a little styptic. Again, working a top area, that happens. And if you watched my last video, remember, clean that area before you apply foam again. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to dry out a little bit here, so I'm going to just rehydrate as much as tidy up. And a bit more water in the lather. And third and final pass. It's comfortable. It's a forgiving shave, actually. You look at it and you think, no, it's kind of fearsome. It's kind of big. But no, really, it's a pussycat. And with the guide of the handle, if you will, it's pretty hard to mess it up. Now, please don't look at the fact that I've nicked myself as this is bad or whatever. This is partially inexperience. It's also partially divided attention. I don't shave with this one a ton, and as a result, because I'm not super experienced with this guy, I may be doing a few things that are counter to best practices for this, if you will. Now, is that baby butt smooth? It's not bad. And I think I can get closer than this. Maybe not. With a bit more practice, I'm sure I could get a very consistent shave out of this. And a very even close shave, but even like that might have been the 10th time I've used this. So, and it's been months since I've done it. So there you go. The single edge shave, solid, stable, a little quiet, not a big talker, unlike me. If you'd like to know a little more, feel free to drop by Wicked Edge, ask what anybody thinks. These do not have a modern manufacturer, by the way, so you are stuck with eBay, garage sales, yard sales, flea markets, whatever. Other than that, would I recommend it? Sure. It's solid, works good, and the learning curve is actually, because of that configuration of the head, It's nominal. It's very easy. Anyway, have fun. Hope to see you on Wicked Edge. Check out the FAQs there in our Shave of the Day posts. And subscribe to my channel. Keep them sharp.